had a good week. Well, it's been 3 weeks since I've done a Flosstube, so I hope you've all been good. It is Sunday the 28th of May today of the year 2023. And welcome to all my new subscribers, or welcome back if you're an existing subscriber. I appreciate you all stopping in with me to come and check out what I've been up to. It has been 3 weeks. I do apologise for it last weekend, but my left eye just randomly on Friday, you know, when you sort of, you feel like it's swelling. You're not entirely sure, but you feel like it. And then by the end of the day, I got such a puffy eye, it was just, I thought, I can't go on camera looking like that. And then as that started going down, Monday, late Sunday, early Monday, I started with toothache. I knew what was coming. It was an abscess, so I got in the dentist at the beginning of the week. So I'm on antibiotics as well now, but they've only just, I mean, I've been on them 5-6 days now, and it's only today that I haven't actually felt it. It's not throbbed or anything. So the antibiotics have taken a long time to kick into my system and start working. But I'm all good now, so, you know. Anyway, if you're new here, my name's Tracy. My channel used to be called Tracy's Craft House, so you used to know my name. Now you don't. It's just a world of stitches. It won't be changing from that now. I quite like it as it is. So, you're prepared. The first 2 weeks I didn't do too much, but it's weird. Having had the abscess, stitching has been my distraction. So I'm not sitting here just kind of with the pain and stuff. Stitching's taken my mind off it. So this last week I have got quite a bit done, to be fair. I have touched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of my counted cross stitch projects. Now that is epic for me, considering it's only an extra week on what I'd normally do. And then I've touched 5 of my stamped cross stitch kits. I'm just going to get on with it because I don't want to be here all day. So, shall we do them in order? Yes, because then I won't get confused. Oh, and by the way, one of those, did I say no new starts this year? I did. So it's only one. It's only one. I'm doing well. That's 5 months and I've only started one. If you don't count the one I started at the beginning of the year because it was a stitch along. We'll just, yeah. So one of those is a new start. Anyway, the first one I've worked on is this one. It's called Flowers Feed the Soul Sampler, which is this one. This is worked with sulky thread. I think it's called Iris. Good question. Yes, it is. It's Iris, and it's worked on 22 count antique white hard hanger. I have got pictures, so I will put them in of where it was last time you guys saw it. This has had an extra 418 stitches added to it, so it's all down here. I love working on this. Something always crops up and I don't manage to put in as much time as I'd like to, but 418 stitches isn't bad. I believe it's most of this, unless there's a day where I didn't put down how many I'd done, but yeah, it looks great. I absolutely love the sulky thread. I know it's not for everyone, but I really like it, and the coverage just with one strand is amazing, I find. Right, I'm going to just put these on the floor, try not to knock you guys, just because they'll be in the way if I don't. Okay, Day Fairy. See, now I've even brought out a couple that I've not touched in quite a while. So, my paper's in the book. It is this one, Butterfly Fairies. This is the Day Fairy. That's the night one. I'm currently working on the day one. This is a paper pattern as well, obviously, because it's in a book, so I don't know how many I did, but there's one of my hoops. There's me thinking the other day, I don't know where my hoops are. This is by Leisure Arts, and it's on antique white 28 count even weave, so it's worked 2 over 2. Let me pop the hoop off because I'll have one for later then. take the clip off too. I put it away with the clip on it. That's a no-no. Right, so, dear me, I might get organised in a minute. Anyway, that's where that is so far. I still have a bit more to do on this corner piece. They're only half stitches, so it shouldn't take long, but I've got a bit more to do on that. But I believe it's the blue I've done. Don't quote me on that, but I think so because it's dropped lower than the brown. So not massive amounts of progress, but it's been touched, and I might just leave this one out because I did enjoy doing it. Ow, that sounds more drastic than it is. My next one, I need a bigger bag for this one. This one's kind of bulky. Shows what it is as well. Everyone knows the sight of a Mandy Manzano one. Yeah. Because everything's squished in the bag, the cover picture's squished as well. So it is Make a Wish and Take a Bite by Mandy Manzano, charted by Haid. And I'm still down working in this corner. But because it's such a big piece, I mean it is worked, I believe, on 25 count even weave. Let me just check that. Yeah, 25 count white even weave. So it's 1/1, and it's still going to be quite a big project. No, it's that way. Yeah. And I've done 695 stitches on this. I'll put it this side instead. Oh, you can tell it's been in the hoop and then just bunged in the bag. But that's where we're at. I finished this bottom section of black. There's a couple of hundred stitches maybe. And then I've been filling in all these blank stitches. There's still a few to go, but then as I've picked a colour, just gone straight up with it. So I've been filling in a lot up here as well. 695 is not bad though. Could be more. But I love this piece. I absolutely love this piece. I'm not even going to get that back in there. Do you know what? It's going to look even more creased next time now. Anyway, the next one. Over the Moon. This one, I've actually finished May. I only finished it like 2 days ago. But this is the only stitch along I've ever done that I've stayed on top of so far. I don't think I stayed on top of my Linen and Threads one back in 2020. But I've sewn some extra 25 count fabric that I had onto the edges so that I can put it in a hoop, and it makes it so much easier for me. Because when it comes to that edge border, I was playing a bit of fabric chicken when I bought this fabric. So I haven't got a lot to play with anyway, which meant it wouldn't go in a hoop too easily because the hoop just comes too close to the edge. So I've sewn some extra fabric on and I finished May. So let me just, oh dear, it's going to be easy if I just go this side. So May was this block, and then I believe that was finished about there, so it's been all the rest of this all the way down to there, so that's near the bottom, and this is the extra fabric I've sewn on just so I can put it in a hoop, because this was horrendous trying to work it in a tiny hoop, and then every few stitches I'd have to move it down again, and then a few more I'd have to move it down again, and I could not cope with that. So I added some fabric and then I whizzed through that. Why does that look uneven? There's a bend in the fabric. I was going to say, can you see it looks like I've gone outwards in the stitches. It's not, it's the fabric. It's bent. But yeah, as a whole, it looks, I am still in love with this piece. You can't see me, but I can see you. So I can see what you can see, but it looks just awesome. I'm so excited for June to come out. Let's go back a bit. There you go, the borders all the way down to the bottom. So how many days? 31. So I've got another 3 days. It'll be out on Thursday, the next piece, and I cannot wait. This has been epic. Now, I don't mind stitch alongs. I didn't find this one. They actually found me and sent me a message on Facebook and asked me if I wanted to join the stitch along. And it was called Over the Moon, so I waited until the January section came out before I made my mind up. As soon as I saw January's piece, that was it. I was in love. I knew I wanted to do it, and you can tell because I've stayed on top of it all the way through. I've only left myself with a couple of days to spare, but you know, I've done it. That one had, now get this, 4,049 stitches just in the last 3 weeks. That's over 1,000 stitches a week. That surprises me actually. Where are we? This one next. You've all seen this one before. Well, hey, I've just dropped something. Yep. Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers. Don't worry about this. This is my information of when I started it, which was the 17th of November 21. It's been nearly 2 years this year. But I'm doing actually alright on it. This is the first time in a while I've picked it up. But I've done the whole top. I wouldn't say a row across the top because I'm actually sort of in here now. But this is stitched on 28 count opal linen in the colour Ice Grapes from Under the Sea Fabrics, which was sent to me by Leis from Leis Stitch. I'll link her channel below. She's awesome. I need to stop in and watch her because I haven't done it in a while. Anyway, it's this half. I know I've done some more in here. Not so sure about this. But my picture's on my phone so I can't check. But you can see the difference. And this is a colour from KLT Charting. I'm not even showing it to you, look. It isn't colour fast, so I can't wash it, which I wasn't going to anyway. I've kept it pretty clean in the bag. And it was a limited edition thread, but it isn't anymore. And it's called Galactic Quest. So there's a lot. It's very similar to the Sulky. It's got sort of purples, pinks, a little bit of blue in it as well. But it looks awesome on this fabric. So I might get that out again this week. And it is worked 2/2. Yes. But I have plenty of threads to make sure I can finish it. I think it was just after she sent those that she decided to make it not a limited edition. Anyway, 675 stitches I did on that one. Okay, my next one, I left that out of it. I'll sort it out in a minute. My next one is a new start. Now, this is a complete mystery stitch along. Again, they sent me a message through Facebook and asked me if I wanted to join. And if I go into my downloads actually. I know it's in there. Where's that one? Or didn't I download the colour one? It doesn't want to open that one. Not in that anyway. Let's go with that. It's not even the one anyway. So I might as well go back to what I was doing before. I was going to show it you on Facebook. Part 1 colour. Okay, now we're going to downloads. Okay, so Yep. This was part 1. Let's turn you away from the blooming light. It is a mystery stitch along, like I said. Part 2 goes just underneath this one. I think I have part 2. No, I don't want part 2 placement. Oh, I don't have it in colour. Numpty. Part 2 colour. Vibrates to let me know it's downloading. So, this is part 2. So it goes directly under that one. So we have a foot there at least. And I'm assuming that's a bit of a tail behind him. I'm sort of leaning towards maybe a squirrel or a beaver. But if I show you sort of the other things that they do. No, that's not a good example at all. I apologise. I should have done this sooner. What about the rabbit? Downloads. That's not a good example either. What do they call them? I bet that one's the same. That's just not, it's not even anywhere near that. I wonder if it'll show me, just in general, here, maybe some other patterns that I can, see this is what it looks, this is someone else's, so I apologise. Whoever this is, it looks awesome. But that's part 1 and part 2 together. I love their choice of fabric. Makes it stand out so well. Oh, nope. Okay, have I gone on something else? No. Okay. I was meant to go on the group, that's why. I've gone backwards off it. I was just seeing if they got something else. Another, there we go, that's what I was thinking of. Someone else has done this. This is one of their designs as well. But that, it looks awesome. Just the different patterns within an animal. So that kind of gives you an idea as to how this is going to look. But I have completed part 1. I just need to do part 2. Part 1 was 1,809 stitches. It's on 14 count, just some spare that I had. And that's part 1. Part 2 is going to fill in this section. Then it jumps up above, I think. So it'll go up there. That's how big the whole thing is going to be. Is that? That edge line's worn off. Never mind. But that's part 1 anyway, so I'm leaning towards a squirrel or a beaver. Maybe. It's probably none of them, and it's completely something else. But the colours, I love the colours. And I had the colours anyway, so it didn't matter. So yeah, that's my new start, which doesn't have a project bag at the minute because I have umpteen amount of projects, and they're all in bags, and I don't have any spare. Okay. Another one that I haven't touched in a little while, which I think will please some people and shock others, just because I haven't touched it since last May. And it is this one. There was a couple of you that couldn't wait for me to start this one. It's called Follow the Yellow Brick Road by Little Dove Designs, which is a UK website where they've got a lot of patterns and they're all really cute. I've got a couple of theirs actually. I am still working in this section right here, which is the The Good Fairy? The Good Witch. Witch, that's it, the Good Witch. Right, this is stitched on, if I'm right, 32 count Belfast linen, which I tea dyed myself because it was like a bright, it was meant to be cream, but it was like a bright, I don't know, yellowy colour. So this is where we're at, and it's a paper pattern again, so I can't count, but I know I did all of this red. The crown was already there, even though I had to readjust because I messed up somewhere when I did it the first time. I've done all of her hair, her face, her arms, and part of her body, and this part of the flower right here. I'll just bring you in a little closer. I've just got to fill in her facial details. So I haven't done loads, but I did enjoy it when I got it out, to be fair. It has been a while. Let me just drop that down there. Sorry if that just caught you guys. Right, the next one that I haven't touched in a little while. It's already open because I've had it out this afternoon. Anyway, it is this one, My Roses and Lace by Shannon Christine Designs. Absolutely gorgeous pattern, and if you're new to my channel, she did this in 3 different colours, as in the roses. I mean, the white bit you can do whatever colour you like anyway, but she charted the roses in yellow, pink and red, and my mum's favourite flower was a yellow rose, so obviously I went with the yellow. So this is kind of a tribute piece to her, and it just looks so intricate and dainty and lovely. I can't work it for too long at once though, because I have to use the magnifier. It's in the frame because I haven't finished. Anyway, there'll be pictures of where it was the last time you saw it, and this is where it's at now. So since the last time, because I only worked on it yesterday and today, I know where it is. It's all this lacy bit here, like the diamonds, and this here, and it looks fabulous. This I think is stitched on 40 count pearl grey, so it's 1/2 actually. I didn't want to go 2/2 because I didn't want the pattern to become bulky. I wanted it to retain that lace look, and the 1/2 does that. It really does. It looks so dainty, and the stitches are so small. Even though when you do 1/2 it becomes 20 count, them stitches are tiny. This is another one that Leis sent to me, bless her heart. And it looks awesome. Absolutely awesome. It's just working with the magnifiers, I can't do it for too long at once, which is why I did some yesterday, some today, and I did 262 stitches. That sounds really, really naff, but considering it's so taxing on the eyes with the magnifier as well, that's not bad for me. Let's drop that over there. Right, that's all the counted ones. Now for the stamped. Okay, so let's start with my first one that I only touched on my Stitch With Me on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. This one, I have actually sent them an email. Sorry about the crinkle. This comes from VIP Cross Stitch, and it is Mario. It's not very focusy. So you've got all the characters, Bowser, Peaches, Mario, Luigi, and all of the little mushrooms and whatever else. Now this is a 16 count, which I've never really done a 16 count stamped before. It's had its issues. Where are you? The reason I had to write to VIP Cross Stitch to send them an email is because I thought when I first looked at this, it's going to be pretty taxing, because the images, not the images, the symbols, because it's such small count, although it's not 18, it's 16, but because it's such small count, my old eyes, it was quite, I don't want to say blurry because it's not blurry to anyone else, it's just to me probably. So I thought I'll wash it. I can work on a 16 count, that's not an issue. And then I'll just work on the plain fabric from the chart that I've got. 4 times I soaked this piece. The second time, no, was it the third time? The third time I soaked it for hours. I just put it in some warm water with a bit of dishwashing liquid and left it for 4 hours. This is the result. It did not wash out. So I was a little bit miffed. I kind of gathered after the first twice. But I thought, you know what, I'll soak it for longer and see if that helps. Now, as you can tell from here, it has faded it a little. Unfortunately, it's faded it just enough. I took my needle out. So that I can work on the back instead. You can only just see the stamping through the fabric. So, that is my start, which I did on my Stitch With Me. The first less than 100 stitches right there in 3865 antique white or whatever it is they call it. So that's it. But yeah, to say I did write to them. She goes, we've took it off the shelf immediately. We've contacted the people who put this together for us and stamp it, and asked them what's going on and how you can get this off your fabric. So I know there's been a couple of other people who said, oh no, I've got a 16 count, I hope it washes off. I hope for your sakes it does, I hope for my sakes it does, because I've got another kit that I need to unbox that is a 16 count. It is a different website, but they all tend to kind of use the same people, don't they, for kitting up. So yeah, it's a small start, which took me ages to be able to start because I constantly being soaked. Sorry, that's loud. That's why I'm doing it over here, so hopefully it lessens the noise. It's in my ears. In you go. So yeah, that was the first one, which... and I was so miffed because I really wanted to do that one. Anyway, I'll try and keep the crinkle down to a minimum. I might as well just show it you here. I've also touched this one, which comes from VIP Cross Stitch as well. I know a lot of you have said you don't like the DIY ones. I haven't actually completed one yet, so I can't say if they're any good or not, which is why I'm trying to work through a few of them. I'm not sure how much I did on this. I believe I have a before picture, so you should be seeing it. Fingers crossed. Anyway, this is where I'm at. So I've done a lot in Yoda's face. I don't think I did too much since the last time you saw it. I'm not entirely sure, but you'll have seen the difference. I might have added a bit more to the black as well, but I'm just trying to fill in Yoda's face and his ears at the moment. It is 11 count, so it's 3/1. But he isn't looking too bad at the minute. So, fingers crossed for a DIY kit, he's going well. So, I am going to have to put these back in their bags. Otherwise, I'm just going to get lost with them all. So that's one. I'll worry about tidying them up after. I'll go for my oldest one now, actually. This one... I believe I had this early on when I first started doing unboxings from these cross stitch companies, and it is this one from DIY Choose. I was a little worried about the background because their beads are the same. I'm still a little worried because their beads is done in, I believe it's B5200. No, it's 3865. And then the background is done in 01, which is a very, very pale light grey. So they do look quite close in colour. Hang on, number 11. Yeah, 3756. very close to the white. But anyway, it's been a while. I'm not sure I will have a picture for you because this is in my bedroom. It's kind of my bedtime project if I feel like stitching when I go upstairs. No, don't fall off my lap. This is the one I had to take apart. It was a cushion kit, but it came with the back all sewn on. And I had to message him and say, I can't stitch on something when I can't get access the back. So that's what I've done so far. These snowflakes were actually in 3865 as well. This is the 001 and this blue should have been done in 3865. This one was, and I couldn't see it. For love nor money I couldn't see it, so I chose a blue that I've just got spare and went over all the snowflakes in blue. So they'll stand out a bit now. So I've done all them snowflakes up the side. I don't actually know if you've ever seen this started. You might have done. But I'm halfway down his hat in the first gnome. Some of the border's done as well. 11 count again, so 3/1. And it comes with everything you need to make the cushion except the stuffing. See this was the back that was already sewn on. There goes the blue. There's the zip. This was all sewn together when it came, so the front that I stitched on was sewn onto this. I had to sit and unpick it all and just say to them, look, if you're going to make a kit like this, don't sew the back on. By all means, put everything in you need to make the cushion, but do not sew the back on. It really doesn't help. Okay, so that's that one. That's not been out in quite a while, but the last couple of days I have actually pulled it out. Alrighty then. So, yeah. The next one, some of you got excited by this one, was this one from Paint Some Way. I quite like this one as well, and it's a small-ish one. So I was a little apprehensive about how it would turn out, but this image itself actually looks like it's been stitched. It's a picture of a stitched piece. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's how it's going to look when it's done. The chart could have been done with being just a little bit bigger. This is just a photocopy of the original chart, and yeah, it is tiny. I'd have to connect my printer up to my computer to enlarge it, and I really can't be bothered to do that. I could be stitching in that time, couldn't I? So this is 11 count, so it's 3/1. Don't slide off. So this is where we are at so far, which isn't bad. So I've started on the background. This is part of his bandana right here, and this, I believe, is the shading underneath his chin. Hold on, where's the picture? Yeah, if I show that. This is the shading right under his chin here, and I believe starting his moustache. So yeah, coming along nicely. I really enjoy working on this one, I have to say. Really, really. I've gridded it all out ready. So you'll know how big it's going to be. It's not a massive one, so this shouldn't take too long. I'll put my clip and everything back in because that's going back upstairs. Because if I don't fancy the elves one, I've got this one instead. I'll just stick them there now. Right. My next one, which is also from Paint Some Way. It is this rainbow unicorn. And I always write where I got them from because I always forget. And if I write them on here, you can see too. But she is a beautiful rainbow unicorn. Sorry. This one's had quite a bit of work. Again, it's 11 count, so it's 3/1. I'll show you the front first. So this is where she is at. So I've done a lot of this. It's the blue in the background. All that's blue, which I believe is 939, and then this one is actually 310. Should have just left it all 310 because there's not much difference. Anyway, I've also done. There's like this absolutely gorgeous blue. Is it colour 14? Nope. 41. I knew it was a 4 and a 1. 3846. It's an absolutely gorgeous bluey green, I want to say. So I've done this little bit here, 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 and then I've started in this section right here. This is the one I sort of sit in front of the telly. You see, you can see her face. I sit in front of the telly with this one. She's gorgeous. So yeah. If I had enough project bags, like my zip ones, to put all them in, I would. But I don't, so I apologise about the crinkle. And my last one, I try not to move it as much as possible. This is also from Paint Some Way. This one I was so excited about. So excited. It is the Looney Tunes. How could you not get excited about the Looney Tunes? I grew up with these. So when I saw this kit, it was like, no competition. That's the one I want. And the chart's actually pretty good on this one. These ones I tend to find on this shiny back paper. The charts are awesome. They are plenty big enough to see. And they're awesome. So, I won't talk while I crinkle because I know you can't hear me and then the speaker just goes funny. This one. Oh no, I've left the red out. The elves. Never mind. I'll put it back in a minute. This one. I have done so much already. You'll be surprised. I think I'd done a bit of the orange last time. And I have completely finished the orange on the bottom section. I've done a bit of red. And I've done some yellow. Look at this. Doesn't that just look fabulous? I was worried because his foot's the same colour as this background ring, circle, whatever you want to call it. But now that I've done it, and you can see there's a lot that goes in between, I'm not so worried anymore. I think it looks awesome. Again, an 11 count kit, so it's 3/1. And this is one of my favourites. I have a lot, but this is one of my top ones. So all that I'd done before on Daffy's Beak and stuff. But yeah, that bottom half section has taken quite a battering off me, if you will. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So this will come out again. Hold on. I'm not going to touch it again. I'm just going to leave it there and let it flop. I think that's everything. The only other thing I've got, Home Bargains, which is like, I can actually see the shop from here sort of thing. It's like 2 minutes around the corner. They sell craft stuff on and off. And because I'd already stitched this once, obviously I didn't have the fabric from the kit, which is this one. And this is from VIP Cross Stitch as well. If you missed, I believe it was my last Flosstube. It could have been the one before actually. It's my brother's birthday's in May. No, it would have been the one before. I finished this for him because he has a robin that comes and visits him quite regularly in his back garden, and it will just sit there chirping away. And the saying is, when robins appear, loved ones are near, or lost loved ones are near. So I knew it meant a lot to him especially, and I wanted to stitch it for myself as well. So Home Bargains have some craft stuff in sometimes, and I managed to get a piece of 14 count Ada, believe it or not. Now this is plenty big enough to fit those 3 little robins on. This is how big it is. £1.29. Bargain. I said to my other half, does it say on the wrapper, because it was him that was at Home Bargains at the time, and I said, does it say on the wrapper what count it is? He said no. I keep telling him he needs to wear his glasses, right? But I can sort of see why. Let me just get it back in its thing, so I don't want to get this dirty. This is how it came. No, that way round. In its little bag like this. Now if you turn it round, in very, very small writing, white writing I might add, you can barely tell. It does say 14 count. So I just said to him, do you know what, get it, because I don't think they do 11 count. I've never seen it. And fortunately, it is 14 count. But for £1.29 for that piece, just to complete those birds again, I can't argue with that. It's a bargain. So I just need to source the colours out again for this. I do have a little bit left, but not a lot. So I'm going to stitch that again for myself now. And then if my sister says she wants it, I can do it for her as well. That's not an issue. But I did it for my brother just because I know he treasures when he sees the robin in his garden. I hear from my sister-in-law that he does talk to it. He talks to Mum when it's around, so that's sweet. Right. All 41 minutes. Oh my days, you can tell I've done a lot this past 3 weeks. Anyway, fingers crossed. The next fortnight will be back to normal. I won't have no puffy eyes or abscesses to deal with. Touch wood. It's been okay today. It's not hurt at all today. And I've been on top of my antibiotics, so fingers crossed it's on the mend now. Right guys, thank you so much for sitting through all 41.5 minutes of that and letting me share my cross stitch progress with you. It has been a lot, so I do appreciate you sitting through it all. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you give it a big thumbs up, and just, it gives my channel sort of extra, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of. It just boosts my channel. There you go. There are links. My Instagram, I am so terrible with. I have got Facebook, I have got Instagram. Links to both of those are below. I will put a Leis Stitch channel in my description box as well. That was something I wanted to do. Shout outs. Right, this is off the top of my head. I found a young lady only a few days ago actually, and she's called Mariannes Cross Stitch. No, Marianne's Creative Space. But she does a lot of stamped cross stitch unboxing, so if stamped cross stitch is your thing, go and check her out. She only has, last time I looked, it could be more now, 98 I believe subscribers, but she has so many unboxings, and I tell you, she unboxes between sort of 8 and 10, maybe a couple more in each of her videos. She has some gorgeous kits, some that even I've looked at and I thought, shall I, shan't I? And she's got them, so go and check her out. I will link her in the description box below. Then there was Amy Sid and Stitch. I think she's changed her channel name too. If she hasn't, it's Amy Stewart, but I'm sure she has. Link to her will be in the description box below as well. I haven't seen one from her for a week or two now. I think she lost a bit of her mojo and was doing a lot of knitting, so go and check her out anyway. She does knitting, she does cross stitch. I'm not sure about diamond painting actually. I'm not sure if she's ever done one of those. I think she has. Amy, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible. Then Jeep Girl Stitches as well. She's someone else I've been following. Is it Cass? It's terrible when you switch that recorder on and your camera. It all goes to pot. But I will put links to her as well in the description box below. She's awesome. She's so sweet. Who else is there? I should have wrote them down. You know, I was sitting there the other day thinking I need to mention these people. If there's someone I've recently subscribed to and I haven't mentioned you, I will mention you in the next one, because I'm going to go through them and write myself a note, which I should have done already. So I've just mentioned 3, haven't I? So go and check those guys out. I think they're all amazing. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you guys. I will see you for a stitch with me probably this week coming. I have got another unboxing to do. I have got some more stuff on the way as well. One of those is an unboxing but not cross stitch or craft related. They actually contacted me about They have a website for bags, all kinds of bags, handbags, clutches, backpacks, totes. So yeah, I've got some of those on the way as well, so wait for those. But I will do a stitch with me. It'll either be this week coming or it'll be the Wednesday after. I'm not sure, it depends, because it's school holidays this week, so the kids aren't busy with schoolwork and stuff so much. So, and then I will see you in 2 weeks again, apart from the unboxings and the stitch with me, for another Flosstube. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Just take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.